Welcome to class, students. Today we'll be looking at a very important topic titled Risk Assessment and Mitigation Approaches. Risk assessment and mitigation represent essential organizational processes for proactive threat management. These systematic approaches enable organizations to identify potential challenges, evaluate their impact, and develop strategies to minimize negative consequences while protecting assets and achieving strategic objectives. Risk assessment framework, definition and purpose. Risk assessment encompasses the systematic identification, analysis, and evaluation of potential organizational threats and vulnerabilities. Core assessment components, we have the risk identification, systematic detection of potential threats and vulnerabilities, and also involve comprehensive evaluation of internal and external risk factors. We have risk analysis, qualitative and quantitative evaluation of risk probability. It also deals with assessment of potential impact magnitude and scope. We have risk evaluation, prioritization based on severity and occurrence likelihood. Also ranking of risks according to organizational impact. Risk mitigation strategy. Risk mitigation involves developing and implementing comprehensive strategies to reduce or eliminate identified risk impact through structured approaches. So we have the likelihood and we have the consequence from the image below. We have insignificant, the minor, the moderate, the major, and the catastrophic strategies or catastrophic challenge. We have the likely, we have the certain, the likely, the moderate, and the unlikely and rare. So in terms of certain, 90% chance or greater than 90% chance, we have insignificant. Risk is easily mitigated by normal day-to-day process. So we have the high, we have in terms of minor, we have the high, we have the moderate is extreme, majority is extreme, and catastrophic is extreme. We also have the 50 to 90% chance, where we have for insignificant is moderate, minor is high, moderate is high, major is extreme, and catastrophic is high. So when we get to the rare, where we have these are risks that are rare, and in terms of insignificant is low, the minor is low, the moderate is moderate, the major is high, while the catastrophic is high. What are the four risk mitigation strategies? We have a risk avoidance strategy, risk reduction strategy, risk transfer strategy, risk acceptance strategy. The four primary risk mitigation strategy are the risk avoidance strategy. That definition and approach. Risk avoidance involves implementing proactive measures to completely prevent identified risks from materializing. This strategy requires organizations to take decisive action to eliminate risk exposure, often necessitating resource reallocation or strategic compromises to ensure comprehensive risk prevention. Implementation consideration. Organization must carefully evaluate the trade-off involved in risk avoidance, as prevention measures may require significant resource investment or strategic adjustments that impact other business areas. Practical application example: project staff risk scenario. An organization identifies a critical risk where project completion may be jeopardized due to insufficient specialist expertise. To avoid this risk, management could hire multiple specialists to ensure project continuity, even if one specialist becomes unavailable due to illness or other circumstances beyond this control. Strategic trade-offs. While hiring additional specialists eliminate the staffing risks, to ensure increased budget, it requires increased budget allocation. Organization must assess their capacity to absorb this additional cost while maintaining overall project viability. The risk reduction strategy, definition and methodology. Risk reduction focus on implementing measures to decrease either the probability of risk occurrence or minimize the potential impact should the risk materialize. This approach acknowledges that complete risk elimination may not be feasible or cost effective. Instead targeting risk mitigation through strategic intervention. Implementation process. Following the comprehensive risk analysis, Organization identifies specific action that can reduce risk likelihood or impact severity. This strategy often involve process improvement, resource optimization or scope adjustment. Practical application example: budget constraints risk scenario. An organization faces po ten tial project failure due to insufficient funding. Risk reduction strategy might include cost management, implementing proactive project monitoring and cost control measures, while resource optimization, selecting most cost effective raw material suppliers, scope adjustment, reducing project scope to align with available budget constraint while maintaining core objective. Technology integration: modern risk management platform can leverage artificial intelligence to identify and prioritize risk, creating automated dashboard that provide real-time visibility into organizational risks characterized by priority level, implementing stage and project process. Risk transfer strategy. Definition and mechanism. Risk transfer involves strategically shifting risk, consequence and responsibility to external third parties. This approach allows organizations to maintain operational focus while assuring risk protection through external partnership and agreement. Primary transfer method. Insurance coverage. Organization can purchase insurance policies to cover specific risk categories, transferring financial responsibility to insurance providers for predetermined risk events. Con Contractual risk allocation. Risk transfer can be formally incorporated into contracts with various external parties. Supplier agreement. Vendors may assume responsibility for delivery delays or quality issues. Outsourcing contract. Service providers may accept liability for performance failures. We also have contractor agreement. External contractors may face financial penalties for project delays or substandard deliverables. Practical application example: project delay risk. If project completion depends on external contractor deliverables, contract may include penalty clauses where contractors assume financial responsibility for any revenue losses resulting from their delays. Global operations support. Organization with international operations or distributed workforce may engage in global compliance advisors to address regulatory or operational challenges inherent in cross-border business activities. Risk acceptance strategy, definition and rationale. This acceptance involve a conscious organizational decision to maintain current risk exposure without implementing additional mitigation measures. This strategy is appropriate when po ten tial rewards outweigh risks or when risk probability and impact fall within acceptable organizational tolerances. Strategic decision criteria. Organization may choose risk acceptance when po ten tial rewards significantly exceed risk exposure, risk probability is minimal or negligible, risk impact severity is manageable within existing resources, mitigation cost exceed po ten tial risk consequences. Implementation requirement. Risk acceptance demands continuous monitoring and periodic reassessment to ensure risks remain within acceptable parameters. Organization must regularly evaluate changes in risk probability or impact. Organizational risk appetite evaluation. Cost benefit analysis of continuing risk acceptance versus mitigation implementation. Risk category management. Organizations typically apply risk acceptance strategies to low category risks while implementing more active mitigation approaches for medium and high priority risks. Practical step for risk mitigation: one, identify all possible risks, conduct a risk assessment, treat the risks, monitor risks regularly, report on any po ten tial risks. Identify all possible risks. Objective and scope. Organization must conduct thorough risk identification processes that encompasses all po ten tial threats to project and broader business operation. This foundational step requires comprehensive analysis across multiple organizational levels and functional areas. Stakeholder collaboration. Effective risk identification demands input from diverse stakeholders representing different business perspectives, functional expertise and operational experience. This collaborative approach maximizes the likelihood of identifying all relevant risks while incorporating varied viewpoints on risk sources and impact. Information sources and research. Project documentation. Historical project record provide valuable insight into previously encountered risks and their impact. Similar project analysis. Reviewing comparable projects helps identify potential risks based on proven patterns and experiences. While industry-based experiences, sector-specific risk patterns and mitigation strategies inform identification process. Stakeholder interviews, direct engagement with experienced team members and subject matter experts, reviews operational. Step 2, conduct a risk assessment methodology. Following comprehensive risk identification, organization must evaluate each identified risk through systematic analysis of two critical dimensions: likelihood analysis and impact assessment. Risk categorization framework. Assessment results enable organization to categorize risks into priority level that guide strategic decision making. High priority risks require immediate attention and may warrant avoidance strategies. Medium priority risks, candidates for reduction or transfer strategies. Low priority risks, often managed through acceptance strategies with monitoring protocol. Treat the risks. It involves strategic decision process, strategic selection and implementing planning. Risk documentation and communication, recording risk treatment decisions and strategies in comprehensive risk register that serve as reference documents for all stakeholders. Risk register component. Effective risk register should include risk description, risk category, mitigation strategy, action plans, responsibility assignment. Organizational benefit of structured risk register. Stakeholder alignment ensures all team members understand risk management strategies and their roles. Confusion prevention, provide clear reference for decision making and action during risk event. Team organization, maintain coordinated response and prevent conflicting action. Monitor risk regularly. Dynamic nature of risk management. Organization operates in a constantly evaluating environment where business coordination, project parameter and risk profiles undergo continuous change. Effective risk management requires systematic monitoring process to track risk evaluation and ensure mitigation strategies remain appropriate and effective over time. Monitoring methodology and frequency. Regular risk monitoring involves systematic evaluation of each identified risk to assess changes in categorization, impact potential and mitigation strategy effectiveness. Practical monitoring approaches includes integrated meeting protocols, weekly team meetings, daily stand-up section, monthly strategic review, statistical monitoring tools. That we have the S curve analysis, key variables monitoring system and tracking of critical project elements such as cost expenditure, timeline progression and resource utilization. Trade analysis, historical data evaluation to identify each pattern and predict future risk development. We also have the step 5 report on potential risks through information sharing, decision support, risk discovery, integration with business. Thank you for listening.